the duality. We are given something, so we have human dignity as a gift. But then it's also an obligation, because we have human dignity. We are obliged to act in a morally dignified way. And we have responsibility. And also, and I understand that we can use the Orthodox concepts, uncreated freedom and created freedom. So uncreated freedom, that is the freedom that is given to us. And created freedom is the freedom that obliges us. That's a task we have to fulfill. And the central task here is to respect the dignity of other people. And we respect the dignity of other people by respecting the human rights of them. The fundamental human rights are the moral rights, and they express the dignity, what a human person is due on basis of his or her dignity. Whereas the individual rights, they are the political rights, and we must contextualize to different political settings. And the political individual rights, they are a formulation of what a good human life within this society, within this context, looks like. So there, as Professor Fischer said, we have to deal with historical settings and so on, and not impose a universal set of human rights to every society. We can also say that in the basic Christian concepts, creation into image of God, Imago Dei, there is the gift aspect. We have been given the gift of Imago Dei, but there's also the obligation aspect. We are obliged by being images of God to act in a proper way, in a moral way. I would like to say much more, but I'll just take one point. That the history of human rights, actually medieval studies have shown that the human rights as we know them, they are not the invention of the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment philosophers, they claim that they have formed the human rights, but actually there is a very long discussion since the 11th century within at least in the Western Christian community, about the objective right that is given by God and the subjective rights of each human being. Because we cannot follow the objective right given by God unless we have some central subjective rights. So we can say that the human rights, it is a moral realm within which each person acts. And to be able to act, you have to have freedom and you have to have responsibility. So human rights are a set of, is a space, a social space within which you can act as a member of your own community. And as a member of your own community, you must have some rights. You must be able to use things, to think, to act, to cooperate with each other, others to have some materials, things, and so on. Only the idea that human beings are not very different from each other, and on the basis of their humanity, they have the same kind of rights. In the medieval society and even later, people thought that people have different kinds of rights because they belong to different classes and are men and women and so on. So for us, that was a very unequal society. but the thoughts were already there. So this is not a novelty, thinking about human rights and using them. And I think the churches have a very significant and important role, because the more resources we have for talking about human rights and to working for them, and also criticizing these political individual rights, the stronger we are. And I would like to criticize Dr. Arekovsky's view of the current Western society. I think it is propaganda to say that everything is just crumbling down and falling down. We have had, since 1945, we have had peace in Europe. We have there is social justice. People are able to go to school and educate themselves. We are not morally so corrupt than the propagandists say. Of course, this is a world of sin and evil, but still, by working together, we can achieve many great things and improve people's lives significantly. And I think, this is my personal opinion, that human rights is one of the greatest achievements of humankind, no matter in whole of its history. It's really something remarkable, and it's very nice that we are talking human rights here now. Thank you.